Hello guys, let's talk about how to create a project using xCore. Okay, so let's create a folder here in desktop, for instance. Doesn't matter where. So this is going to be a project. We're going to call it test. Why not? Right. The next thing we want to do is make sure we go to the page for xCore. We're kind of going to copy the same directory structure. So we're going to have builds and source inside of it. So open a test. Builds, source, dependencies. That's really what we need. The next thing over here is we're going to create a batch file. So let's call it get dependencies. That batch. It is a batch file. All right. So let's open it. Here we can use xCore as a guidance. So we can go to this build directory, update dependencies, update or get dependencies, same thing. Okay, so we want to copy first the first part at the top. So the first part of the top just turns the actual off, says a special mode, is going to change the root directory in case we double click in the icon rather than using the command line. So we cd to the actual working directory. We keep a backup of our path just in case we want to do something special with it. Then over here, xCore is changing the colors of our command line window. We're going to ignore that. Over here is actually identifying to see where Visual Studio is. It needs it for compilation purposes, since we are not going to compile anything, we don't need that. And over here is where it's going to start downloading and stuff. So let's copy what? Let's copy this, for instance. We use it as a template. So okay, so let's see what this does. It goes back from the build directory to the dependency directory, and it's going to remove a directory, rm remove directory. In this case, moving free type. We don't care about free type, we just care about xCore, so we change that to xCore. The next thing is we're asking Git to clone this particular depot. We don't care about that depot, we care about the xCore depot. So let's go back to the xCore depot, clone it, clone from SDP. We click there, automatically it's going to copy. So now we can nuke the first part. Now it's going to do xCore. Yay! And the same. And we want to name this the destination. Basically, it's the same thing as this. So xCore. Okay. There is an error. It's going to go to pause, but we will deal with that later. And after that, we're going to cd back. We're going to go here as well. So we just copy this. xCore. Inside xCore, it has a batch file inside the build directory, builds. So we're going to call that batch file. That batch file is the one that we were using to copy this stuff. So we go to builds, and the batch file in question is update dependencies. So we copy this guy, copy, paste. There is a small detail here. We can say no pause, because if we pass an argument to the batch file, you can see at the end of this batch file, if there is no argument, that is this if statement, then it will pause. So pausing is a good thing because it gives the user a chance to see the results. So in fact, we're going to copy this for our own batch file as well. We're going to, after it calls that guy, we're going to pause, and if nobody enters any argument in our batch file, which nobody should, and that's it. Right, so we call that guy. I mean, if we wanted to be super nice, one thing that we should do is cd back to our path. You know, just in case there is somebody else that needs to call, if later on we have another dependency afterwards there, you know. Okay, so we can save it. Now we can go to our batch file. We can double click it. It's going to download xCore, which he just did. That was pretty fast. And now it's calling the xCore batch file, and it's grabbing all the dependencies the xCore needs. So we wait. So like I said before, one thing the xCore batch file is going to do, the first thing is determine where Visual Studio is. Then right now it's collecting all these dependencies, and at the end it's going to compile the comparison library basically. And this is the reason why it needs to know where Visual Studio is. So is that the first part. So yeah, so here is compiling the compression library, seed stat, and this is the pause we were talking about. So we didn't do this, we did add the extra parameters. It will try to pause twice, one for xCore, one for our own batch file, but in this case it doesn't need to pause. All right. Anyways, next step. Next step is we have this guy. Now we have our dependencies, xCore, and all these shenanigans. That's awesome. So now let's create our project. So project. For that, we're going to use Visual Studio. So create new project. It's going to be a console app. Run code continuous print hello defaults. No, we want empty. Yeah, there you go. Empty. Next. The name of our project. Let's call it test. Let's say which Visual Studio we are using to create. This is a good thing in case later on you need to support multiple versions of Visual Studio. You can have 2019 and 2017, whatever. And the path is going to be a desktop. Say test. It's going to be inside appbuild, and we'll select that directory. That's it. The rest we can leave as is. So create. Yeah, we can remove these filters. We don't need it. We don't need them at all. Okay, we are going to add a system project, a system CDP, source. Here we are going to create our own main. This is the best way to do it, rather than asking Visual Studio to do it for you, because it will Visual Studio will try to make it Unicode friendly. We don't need that. Let's keep it simple. All right, main. Double click it now. Include xCore.h int main return 0. Okay, it doesn't know where xCore is, of course. Before we do that, let's see. There is this 32-bit, 64-bit situation. We don't want the 32 bits. Let's see if we can look it from here. Configuration, configuration manager, same thing. Edit, remove, yes, okay. Then remove it from here. I think you have to remove it from both places. Okay, now we only can do 64, which is what we want. Oh, still there. Don't know. Alright, let's ignore it for now. Let's see. So 64 for configuration, yes. So now we want to add our search path. So back, dependencies, dependencies, xCore source. Stop it. Not that one. This one. So let's copy this guy. And the other one is settings. So we need this one for now. In the future, we will have our own settings, but for now, let's just use xCore settings. Apply, okay. Let's see if everything is kosher. Okay, let's see what the province is. Sure. Couple things here. Language. We want to keep it latest. Okay. Okay, so we are missing one symbol. The symbols are because we haven't actually added xCore yet, so let's just do that. So add, let's do a folder here. Let's call it xCore. Let's add the files that we need. Dependencies, xCore source. The only thing we want is the files, not the folders. So the files, they are at the root of the source. Right, we add all these guys. Hit compile again. Okay, it's compiling. So it's compiling. There is a warning. That's Tracy. There's nothing I can do for now. Let's look at this situation. It's failing to link. It's failing to link because it cannot find this library. It's a dependency from xCore. So we're going to come here, properties. This has to do with the linker. It doesn't know where to find it, so it's similar to the search paths. Dependencies, dependencies, xCore. We did, and that's it. Now we have an xCore project. Okay, so xCore xCore the name of our app. So test. Does this make you happy, compiler? No. Global context. So xCore init. What is complaining about? Let's hit compile. No, it says everything's okay. Little bit. Over here you can also say xCore kill. So in here is where you can add the rest of your program. And yeah, that's a fast and quick introduction to xCore. I hope it helps.